Devin, can you hear me? I don't think I'm on mute. Hi, everybody. I'm getting used to this thing here. You'll have to bear with me. Okay. Oh, you can't hear me yet. Okay, mute. I'm trying to get in here. Devin, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, good. It worked. Yay. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the party, pal. All right, I'm just adjusting everything here. I can't. There we go. All right. Hi. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Yay. You ready for this? You ready to be a listing agent?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. Well, obviously we're early, so I've got all my paperwork out and I'm ready for you guys. What's going on so far?
Just in the house. Tired of being in the house.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You got to get out a couple of times a day, even if you just go sit on the porch.
Yeah, that's what I did yesterday. Sat on the porch, try to get some sun and just clear my mind.
Okay. Well, what's going on in your business? Can you tell what do you got going on? Anything cooking?
I'm fairly new, so the main thing is trying to learn all these systems, driving me crazy. It's just like it's so much. I finally found out how to start enter numbers in the database on command. I made my business cards.
Yay!
Yeah, so I have those. I made 20 like poster signs. They'll be here tomorrow. I'm gonna go post those around the city.
Okay.
Promoting myself, and then I got some sticker decals that I'm gonna put on the door of one of my cars. So when I drive.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah.
I got a deal like that. That's a great idea. How much did that cost you?
For both stickers, $78, $78.
Oh my God, piece of cake.
Yeah, and they're pretty big. They're like 3x2, so
they're magnets.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't know if it's a magnet or a sticker.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Yeah. So what's going on with the people that you know, though? Have you reached out to them?
The people that I know, yeah, I try to get at least 10 people a day. Sometimes it don't be 10. But I reach out, I send text messages, I reach out on social media. I made a little Instagram flyer on that command thingy.
Good.
When you design it yourself, and then you could put on like how many houses are selling in that city and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I made one of those and I posted. I got some good feedback off of that, and
good.
Just trying to do new things as I learn it.
Right. Hey, I have some news for you. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing.
I hope so.
Yeah, you need to be proud of that. It takes a long time. In the beginning, it's hard. I get it. It's really tough because there's so many things coming at you. It's business cards, it's command, it's, newsletters, flyers, website. It's overwhelming. But I want to tell you something. At the end of the day, all you got to do is find one person who wants to buy or sell, just one.
Yep.
So I think in the beginning, a lot of new people, they'll spend time like doing all this busy work, but really what you need to do is find one person who's willing to work with you, just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One person at a time is just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you wake up and whatever you're doing in the morning is part of your personal ritual to get you going, your prayers or whatever, like that's what you need to be saying to yourself. Then, the more specific that you are with the universe and whoever's listening, whatever you believe in, that needs to be a specific prayer, a specific shout out, a call out. Like, I'm going to find one person who wants to buy, sell, or invest or lease with me.
Yeah.
That, like, be specific when you say it. I know it sounds, foo-foo or whatever, but it really does work. And it's been the secret to my success over the last, how many years have I been doing this? 14 years? Even when I was a loan officer, I always did the same thing. I'd be like, I'm going to find one person that wants to do a deal with me today. One.
Yeah.
And it works. It does. Okay.
My grandfather, he already got his pre-qualification letter. So the house he wanted, they end up outbidding by a lot, by like 40,000. I guess they really wanted it. So I'm in the process. I'm gonna help him try to find another one.
Okay, house. What's he looking for?
Something in Victorville, like a second home in Victorville.
Okay.
So he already has property out here, like a 3-unit. So pretty much I've been looking, and then once he get a schedule together, I'm gonna take him out there to look at a couple houses.
Okay, good. Well, so it sounds like you got a deal.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that one's in the bag. I got that one. See, my biggest thing is
yeah, tell me what. Pick my brain.
I think what I'm starting to realize the hardest thing is for me is, okay, so I live in South LA, grew up around here. I lived like a different city. I lived in Corona before, but for the most part in LA, it's like these like people that I know want a house, but a lot of them just not in a position, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes it a little tougher. It's like, because you know how it is out here. Like LA it's a lot of unfortunate people, I guess, or people who's not what do I say, stable. That stable.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's like one of my biggest challenge for LA. So I think I want to start getting out at other markets. I still want to work with these people and help them build up, I guess, but I think I need to start getting other markets too, where it's more people who is just like ready or in a position.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you a little bit about how to do that. Somebody just joined us. Welcome. Hi. I don't know who that is on the iPhone. Just says iPhone. Well, I think, in terms of finding people who are ready, willing, and able to, pull the trigger in terms of buying, those, you never know. Oh, hi, Sarah. Yay. Welcome, darling. Happy Monday. I'm just talking to Devin. He's telling me that he's
Happy Monday, sorry.
Happy Monday, yay. Devin is on the line too, and he's saying that he's a new agent. This is perfect because you're new too. And he's saying that he's having some challenges. The people that he knows are, having challenges getting approved. And that's okay, because those are seeds in the garden. Okay, you just put the dirt over them, pat it down, and water it. And eventually, before you look around, there's going to be a little sproutling coming up, and you'll be happy. And you'll have a whole garden full of those, okay? Yeah. So you need to start creating a database. But remember, every person that you come across, the average person, period, let alone business person, has about 300 contacts. So you may not be asking that person, but you're asking who they know. Yeah, and referrals. That needs to be your ask. When you're getting on the phone, Devin, you need to be asking, ask for the specific thing that you want. Say, hey, I need to find one person who's ready, willing, and able to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Tell me, who do you know that I need to talk to today?
Yeah, I usually always ask them that. I have some people who referred me to a couple of people and said, I don't know if they're pre-qualified, but I know they've been talking about it. And, so I got some numbers off of that. I reached out,
good,
sent my business card. I did everything. So just waiting to see. But I do that all the time. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Well, here's the other thing. I know the temptation to give out your business card. That is a noble thing, but I want you to get in the habit of really talking to your prospects and saying, hey, you know, you have such great energy. I want to stay in contact with you. What's your number? What's your email address? And then that is what you capture and put in to your database. Remember, you're planting a garden. Hi, James. James is connecting too. We'll wait for a couple more people to jump on as well. But Devin, I think, you know, you need to be capturing other people's information. And the only way that you can do that is just let them know, hey, I love your energy. We need to stay connected. What's your number? Don't skip a beat when you ask either. You just say, what's your cell number? What's your email? Okay, good. I got you. Oh, and by the way, here's my card. Hi, everybody. Everybody's jumping in. Now, you're going to have to bear with me because I have not used this system before. Lanisha's here. James is here. Terrence. Hi. Okay, good. We were just talking to Devin Green, who's a new agent with us. And he was telling us about how overwhelming it is in the beginning when you're new. And, you know, there's websites and flyers and command and all these different things. So I'm trying to narrow it down for him. Just find one person that wants to buy, sell, invest, or lease. At this point, we take what we can get. And that's been, you know, that's always the challenge for us. But what I'm going to do, since it's 1 o'clock, it's 1:04, I'm going to get started because I don't want to keep everybody on. I want to start with how this goes, which is the Ignite program. We always talk about lead generation and what the general principles are. So does anybody want to talk about their process of lead generation and how you get started? Anybody want to share? Lanisha? What's up, girl? All right, so are you there? Can you hear me? Oh, she might have her mic on. Okay, so I'm gonna just walk you through what I do on a daily basis. I got everything laid out here. I want to say my day starts the night before. So last night, what I did was I put together my master to-do list. This is everything that I need to do for the week, okay? Now I'm gonna highlight the things that I gotta get done for the next day, all right? And this includes a separate list of people that I need to call. So the people I need to call, I already know who they are the night before, okay? So I have a special folder that I have, and it has all my favorite clients in it. And I will touch my favorite clients first, and then I'll move on to people that I don't know. So people that are in my phone and people that I've done deals with, also agents that I've done deals with too, because that really is a very integral part of my business. Is doing business with other agents. Having those relationships is really, really the backbone of what I've been able to do successfully. So that's the first thing I do. I always plan the night before. When I don't do that, I notice that my day it's just crazy. It's bananas, and all kinds of things come up and I get distracted. Okay, so with that said, the next thing I do, the morning I wake up, I do my meditation, I do all of those things, and then I find something to read. I got 2 things I'm reading. This one is like just minute motivators for leaders. Guys, right now, we're all leaders. We're all leaders because our clients, they're at a loss to know what to do right now. So we have to really stand up and be leaders and advocates for our clients. The other thing that I'm reading, of course, this came yesterday. So I'm reading this. Anybody else got it? I got it on Amazon, I think, for $15. Okay, that came yesterday. So I planned the night before, and I know who I'm going to call. And then the next morning, I do my meditation, I read my books, and then I get on my scripts. I don't know if you guys have read this script. This is the Pivot script. It is really good. I like it. And I think I have it here. Let me see if I can share the screen here. You'll tell me if you can see or not. Desktop 1. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, good. All right, so let me see. Here's the pivot script. All right, I love this one because you can really make it your own. And I know all of us are at a loss for really, like what to say and how to, navigate through this time right now. So at the top, it says, come from gratitude, thank you so much for taking my call. I know things are, up in the air right now, but I called to just check in with you. And it says, hello, customer. This is Heather with Keller Williams. Do you have a couple of minutes? The purpose of my call is to check in with you. I'm making calls to my clients and everyone I know to see if there's anything I can do for you or your family. How are you doing? How's your job? And I hope you're being safe. I think if we lead from a place of curiosity and empathy, that will always be well received. And I think, just being curious about who that person is and not really having our sales hat on, it tends to lead to real estate because people feel connected to you and they're engaged and they're going to ask you about what's going on with you. And that's when you can step in and tell them all the great things that you're doing despite what's going on. Okay. And at the bottom, it says, this is my cell phone number. Please keep it and reach out to me if there's anything I can do to help you. Groceries, pick up medication. I mean, right now, this is the time for us to be doing these kind of things. I know it sounds like a lot, but, to be able to do somebody a favor, believe me, it will come back to you. That's just how I operate. I want to help also. If you know anybody that is in a desperate situation, please let them know and that I'm here for them. Basically, that's what this says. I'm glad to speak to you, and I know this will be a challenging time. Again, thank you so much for speaking with me, and please remember to call me if you need anything. I'll do whatever I can to help you. I love that. That's just awesome. Anybody have any thoughts or questions about that? Did I get signed out?
That was really good. I like it too.
Okay, good. I'm still on. I thought I got signed out there. Okay, what'd you like about it?
Like you said, it comes from a genuine place and it doesn't make you sound, like you said, salesy with people that you know, and especially like being like understanding to the time and just not like going straight at the conversation with, do you know anyone that wants to buy or sell or invest in real estate? It's trying to kind of take it one step at a time. And that's what I've been trying to figure out, especially with people that I know or even people that I don't know.
What do you mean trying to figure out like how to approach them in a way where you don't have your sales hat on?
Exactly.
Okay.
Especially when people know you, is like with me being new, they know that I'm not, I'm not as knowledgeable as somebody like you that would be in the business. If I was a person wanting to buy a house, I would prefer to have an agent like you over an agent like me because you have all the experience and you know what you're doing. But
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
So right now it's like, but if I'm calling people to let them know that I'm in the business, I'm also just calling to just say hi and see how they're doing, because the beginning when I was like first doing the scripts with people that I know, I'm like doing the one script talking about like I'm taking a class and I need 10 people, to give me like 10 referrals. And these are people that I haven't even talked to in forever, so I sound fake and weird.
Oh, I feel for you. I do.
Yeah. So I'm just like, you know what? I need to figure out a way to just be like, hey, I'm just calling to say hi and see how you doing. I know, and I couldn't find that medium because I was trying to stick with the script of you know, what I was told to do, like, you know, but I think right now is a good time for me to just kind of call people and be a little bit more normal and about it, just to kind of get more in contact with people that, especially people like in my phone that I haven't talked to in a very, very long time or don't even remember who they are.
Right. Well, I'm so glad that you're letting that out, because I'm sure that there are other people on the call right now that feel the same way. And, you know, I think for you, Sahara, and, you know, I know you, and I know, you know, that you have such a good spirit and a good vibe about you. And for you to have to feel like you have to rearrange that, it's not good. And I promise you that you'll never sell anything that way. Okay. The way that you will be able to get people to engage and want to work with you is for you to be yourself, you know? And I think the way that you do that is just by taking a deep breath before you get on the phone and just come from a place of curiosity, like really be interested in who they are and what's going on with them. So with that said, I want to also make another suggestion for you too, is that, you know, I think Lanisha is your mentor, right? So I suggest that you attach yourself to her. Say, listen, I know if you have any questions, my business partner, Lanisha and Lance Stubbs, they are phenomenal. They work South LA. They help people that are in distress, and you should talk to them. Even if you just have a couple of questions, we can arrange a conference call and let's get to the bottom of this. I'm here to solve problems. So I'm so glad that you let me know about that. Let's get to the bottom of this. When can I have Lanisha call you? It's as simple as that. Yeah, if you want to close, you got to attach yourself to the Stubbs. Yeah, that's what they're there for. They're your mentor, you know, and quiet as kept, you're paying them to help you, and they want to help you. They want you to bring deals to them so that, you know, they're problem solvers too. They want to get to the bottom of it, and they want to close deals, and they want you to win. So I suggest from now on in your conversation that you be yourself. And then at the end, if someone has a question, that you bring in Lance and Lanisha Stubbs, your business partners. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, good. All right. And then that way, Sarah, you can really relax on the call. You know, like sometimes we get all heated and stuff and nervous when we call, but there's nothing for you to be nervous about because you're not on the stand. It's Lance and Lanisha. They're the ones, right? So that'll help you take a deep breath, and all you're doing is gathering information. You give that information to Lance and Lanisha, and you're going to set the appointment. That's all you're doing. As a new person, guys, all you should be doing is setting appointments for your mentor or the person you're going to partner with to help you. I mean, that's the way I see it. I don't know if that's the way it's going to be done in the office. You'll have to check with Nicole if you don't have a person to help you. But if you want to close and things are thick right now, I suggest you align yourself with somebody who knows what they're doing. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts or questions about this page? Anybody?
Hello.
Okay. Oh, hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. It's working now. Okay.
What's up, girl?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'm glad to hear your voice. I miss you.
Yes, I know. I miss being in the office and around like people that I'm not related to.
Yes.
But that's a good script, and that was very good advice. I think I'm going to give a shout out to all 3 of my team members that are on the call right now.
You get extra credit.
Yeah, for staying connected. That's great. And I think it is a good time. That was really good advice. It is a good time to check on folks and see how you could be a resource. But I work on it all the time. Set the appointment. Like, you're not going to have all the answers, but set the appointment.
Yeah. So I think that's the best way for us to do things right now, guys. Who else is new on the call? Anybody? Devin, what do you think about that?
I think it's great. I do too, because I think it doesn't sound too, like she said, too much like a salesperson. It sounds genuine, and I like it.
Okay, good. Good. Anybody else? Anybody else on the call who has not closed a deal? Who doesn't have any clients? What do you think about this script? I don't know. I'm looking to see who all's here. Who's there?
Bill?
Bill! What you got to say, Bill?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Hi. All right, so let's move on, guys. I'm going to collapse this screen. Please reach out to Brandon if you want to get a copy of that. I think it should be in your file, though. Basically, guys, the reason that we're reaching out to everybody today for this particular class, it's about win with the seller. And having a business based on listings is how you last. And I think, you know, there's so many layers to this onion. You have to break it down in little tiny pieces, and that's what we're going to do today. There's about 45 pages of the Ignite script, or it's the manual that's attached to this Ignite session. I pulled apart the things that I feel like are the most important, and I'm going to run through this manual with you really quickly. But then I really want you to focus on the stuff that I extracted from it for you that you need to focus on, okay? But any questions about like my routine, what I do with, I plan the night before with my to-do list. Then I do my meditation, then I read my books, okay? And then I practice my script, okay? Before I get on the phone, you better believe, before I call anybody, I'm going to look at their social media and I'm going to make sure what's going on with them so I know exactly what I want to say and points of interest that I can bring up in that conversation. I've already kind of done a little bit of research on them before I call them, okay? Because you don't want to call anybody and you're talking about your database or your newsletter and, you know, maybe someone in their life has passed away. So just make sure you kind of check and see. So also, you want to have a notepad because usually when you're making these calls, people are going to ask you, oh, send me this, or hey, do you have this? Or you're going to have homework on each call. So you want to make sure that at the end of the call, if they've given you something to do, that you want to make sure that you have integrity in that and make sure that you do it, okay? All right, the last thing I'm going to add to that before we move on is here is a list of my 411. Who knows the 411? 411 is a list of all of your goals based on your annual goals, your monthly goals, and your weekly goals. Every day you want to have a relationship with these goals, and you want to be looking at them every single day to make sure that you're living up to what you said you wanted to do, okay? All right, so that's my routine. And I think right now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the win with the seller script. Let's see where it is. Here it is. Okay. Can everybody see? I don't think you can see. I think you got it. I have to share screen. Hold on. Share screen. Okay. Win the seller. Okay. Let me know if you can't see. All right. So guys, how many people on the call have never done a listing before? Anybody?
Me.
Yeah, right, Bill. Okay. So let's see, what happened to my screen here? Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So a listing is a totally different monster than a buyer in so many different ways. But I do want to point out that when you do have a listing, you have leverage. And what I mean by that is when you have a listing, it's kind of like your wedding day. You get to advertise yourself. You get to put your open house signs out. people walk in, they want to do business with you. I mean, you open the door for your open house, which we're not doing anymore. But the idea of it is that you open the door for your open house, and people who want to buy or sell just walk right through the door. It's brilliant. I love it. So having these listings gives you a reason to go and talk to people, a reason to advertise yourself. Not only that, but you're on the MLS. You're on blast, and people are going to see you in more ways than one. And it's not just the MLS, but it's all the consumer websites. Redfin, Trulia, Zillow, you're everywhere. And the wider the net that you cast, the more fish you're going to catch. Okay? And that is why we want to list. In the beginning, for the new people, I would like to say, if you have a listing, which I don't know if Anita's on the call. Anita, are you there? Shout out to my girl, Anita. Okay, her first deal is a listing. And where did it come from? Her sphere of influence. It's friends and family. Yay, right?
Hi, Heather. I'm sorry. I didn't unmute fast enough.
Oh.
Anita.
I'm giving you a prize for the day.
And I was kind of surprised because I had the majority of the people in my sphere of influence said they weren't going to use me because I didn't have experience. So I was just dealing with that. So when the family decided to, when they took a vote and they voted for me to be the agent, I was so ecstatic and humble and happy and grateful and everything.
Yeah. So what do you think changed their mind? What did you do or say? Anything?
Not really. It just, the situation happened. I called him Dad too. He was like my dad too. Dad passed away, and everyone was taking care of business regarding him. And then after that, it's like, oh, we have this house, and now we need to do something, like possibly sell it. And then we all started talking, and then they took a vote.
Wow. Wow. I love that story.
Yeah,
I love that.
I'm so blessed. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And I do feel like from this one that I will be able to get more, because already I've sent out postcards to that area around that house saying that, you know, it's a new listing, even though, you know, it's already in escrow. And thanks to Lanisha and Lance Stubbs, they told me how to do that. And so I did that. And then once it closes, I'll send out postcards again saying, you know, just sold, and show the pictures and the amount and all that. So, you know, I'm working with that. But also I have a list of
wait, don't glaze over it. It's under contract. It's sold for how much over list?
Oh, it's sold for close to 100,000 over. Close to it, not quite, but close to it.
85,000 over list.
Oh, go Anita.
Yeah, it did. It
wow.
did. I am, and actually I was giving thanks for that too, because I had sent out some prayers, you know, before that. And but I have to say, Lanisha and Lance, they're excellent. They really know the business, and they knew how to, you know, help me price it. And of course they had to talk to the family, because the family was about to have a fit at first, but when they explained everything to them, they were like, oh, okay. And now everyone's happy because it's more than what they expected.
Oh, okay. I'm going to extract from what you're saying, and Lanisha, you can jump in a second. What you've said is something happened in the conversation with the family that they need to trust you. And that is where the victory is, Anita. Because when you are able to connect with your clients, whether it's your family or your friends, and you get them to trust you, that's the game. That's the whole game. Okay?
So, another reason why they trusted me is I told them that I'm working with a team. I didn't want to say mentors, because it sounds like I really...
It's your business partners.
I really don't know. So I said I'm working with a team, and, you know, this team is great. And, you know, let's all meet and you'll see. I mean, you know, they had to see. And once they met, you know, Lanisha and Lance, They were really, I mean,
Yeah.
after the initial, okay, we're going to let Anita sell the house. But once they met with them for the listing agreement, they were sold. There was no issues after that at all.
Excellent. That's great. So
hi, this is Bill.
Go ahead, Bill.
Can I just add another piece there?
Sure.
This quick, I forgot your name, but in the future or going forward, you know, you raised a couple of good points that you really, really should capitalize on. One, you don't want to, I mean, for the people that know you, yes, they're going to know that you are new.
Right.
But you are, and you know, for me, you're part of a team. You know, you're not working with Lance and Lanisha, which they're great, but you are part of a team. So when you present yourself to someone who doesn't know you or who thinks you are new, you are part of a team. Yeah. And that team has substantial experience in the market, in the business, and that's what you want to highlight.
Okay.
So take your new agent out of your conversation and make it about you are part of this team, and this team has done it, can do it, and will, you know, give them the best customer service on the planet.
Okay.
Great point.
I can, yeah.
And that's Anita.
Anita, okay, thank you. I'll write it down.
Yes, write it down. Go ahead, Lanisha, did you have something?
No, that was excellent advice. I'm just glad that we were able to show her family that the strategy we used would get them more than what they wanted. So it was a good play all around. And I thank her for bringing us in early in the conversation. So we got the ball rolling, and it's been a smooth transaction since then.
Oh, good. I love that story. You know, I also have to give a shout out to Rasson. I don't know if he's on the call. I can't look because I'm in a different screen, but Rasson, who is my buyer's agent, you know, he's been doing really, really well. He also got a listing from his sphere of influence, a friend of the family, and it's a listing. It's his first self-procured deal since he's been on my team, and he reached out to them, and basically he was like, I'm not even going to try to sell this. I'm going to introduce you to Heather. When can I have Heather call you? And then we put it all together, and, you know, we're getting ready to make that happen. So I want to just tell the new people on the line, it is possible for you to get a listing. It's probably right underneath your nose, and you don't even know it. So I encourage you, and especially right now with what's going on, all you new people, you need to align yourself with someone who can help you make stuff happen. And at least learn that way. It is the best way to learn, I think. But I know that it's 1:30, so I want to get through some of this stuff, okay? And you guys can chime in here. This class is, I'm supposed to tell you that you guys are cappers in training. So that means that my job right now is to make sure that you guys understand how this listing, everything is going to unfold here, and that I'm going to put it in your mind that your mission is to cap. And what that means is that you pay out Keller Williams, and then you keep 100% of what you earn on your commission. So that our cap is $24,000. Am I right, Lanisha?
It varies, but you're in the ballpark.
Yeah, it's something around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to really be thinking about, you know, right now for the new people, it's obviously, you know, find one person that wants to buy, sell, invest, or lease with you. Just one person, focus on that. And with that, you build momentum, and then you can start getting into establishing how you're going to cap. The capping is huge because that's the whole idea of you keeping all of your check. Once your portion of your commission adds up to the $24,000 cap, then that is, you earn 100% of your commission. If you got questions about that afterwards, we can go over it. But that's the idea of it. And it's absolutely possible for you as a new agent to get a listing. That's what you need to know, okay? So let's run through this, and follow along with me. Let me see if I can do this. Yep. Okay.
And while you're doing that, Heather, can I throw one more thing out for the new people?
Absolutely.
You know, I in May, it'll be a year that I've been at Keller Williams, and, you know, and I can say without hesitation that, you know, a big part of the reason I'm here is Heather, but also because I absolutely saw an opportunity here. And I want to say to the newer people, you know, we have a great group of people. And I just wanted to give a quick example. You know, I referred a buyer to Heather. Heather handed the buyer off to Rasson, and Rasson got the deal closed. So that's 3 people at Keller Williams that had their hands in this transaction, and the transaction got done and everyone got paid.
Yes,
and I think that that's a great example of, you know, using the company, using our office, because we have great people here who specialize in various areas and who can get it done. And, you know, that's what you want to sell whenever you're talking to a buyer or a seller.
Yeah. Yeah. Collaboration right now in a scary market like this is going to be the answer to your survival. A lot of us guys, I hate to say this, but a lot of us won't make it. You know, a lot of us agents out there, and I'm not just talking about Keller Williams, but in general, we might not make it. You know, it's the ones that have the right mindset and the mentality to know, to collaborate, to know how to navigate through all of these scripts and everything, and make sure that you're in people's faces every single day at every turn, and you're available and you're leading with curiosity and empathy every step of the way. Those are the people that are going to make it. Okay. All right, good. Thank you for that, Bill. All right, so today's expectations, we're going to understand how to do a pre-listing package. So when we talk to people about selling their homes, hang on one second. No. Yeah, you got to go get scissors in the other way. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Bye.
I don't know. So what we're going to do here today is just to understand the different steps of the listing. Okay. The first part is going to be really the pre-listing package, which I got to give Bill a shout out to say, yes, we always have to do a pre-listing package. Okay. Don't you laugh at me, Bill. Okay. All right. Number 2, learn and practice your listing presentation. I prefer, as I always see myself as a charming intrusion, so that I don't feel like I'm bothering people, okay? I came up with that a long time ago when I used to work selling advertising at Crane's New York Business, okay? Someone said, hey, you're not cold calling, you're a charming intrusion. I was like, oh, I like that, perfect. So when I'm doing these calls, I feel like I have the right to call and I'm not bothering them. So I want to introduce you to that idea. But the listing presentation, I've dubbed it in a different way. The same way that I've become a charming intrusion, I like to say that the listing presentation is a marketing proposal. This is the way I'm going to help you achieve your goals. Listing presentation is more like, hey, I'm going to sit here and talk your ear off about what I can offer you and who I am. And that's not what that is. Okay. It's like, how are we going to get you to accomplish your goal, to sell the house, move to Alabama, take the proceeds, take care of your mama, whatever the case is. You know, that needs to be first and foremost. Anytime you're doing a listing with anybody, you need to know what the seller's motivation is. Okay. Number 3, ask for the listing agreement to be signed. Okay. So those the ideas that they want you to understand. Okay. All right, let's move on to the first page here. We talked about the daily lead generation. That's the 10-4. Everybody knows what the 10-4 is, right? That's where we got to do, Lanisha, jump in. I know you know what they are.
Oh, I missed that one. Say it again.
It's the 10-4. You know what the 10-4 is?
Oh, is it making 10 contacts a week? Talking to 10 new people, writing 4 notes. Oh, I don't remember the last one.
Yeah. Anybody? You're close. Anybody else? I think it's on here somewhere. Daily 10-4. Here we go. Oh, there it is. Boom. Cappers in training. This is what you do. 10 contacts added every day. Where's Devin? Devin?
Yeah, so, I'm right
here. Hey, buddy. Okay, so remember, you're not going to be passing out business cards. You're going to be doing what?
Contacting 10 people and entering in my database and and getting their email and phone number.
There you go. Be resistant to hand out your card in the beginning. I want you to say, hey, I like you. We need to be connected. What's your cell number? Don't skip a beat. Because if you hesitate, they're going to pick up on that and be like, well, don't spam me or whatever the case is going to be. Okay? You just say, you compliment them first. I like your energy. We need to stay connected. Boom. Okay? So it's 10. Add 10 contacts to your database. Okay? 10 connections. Make 10 phone calls to your database. And write 10 handwritten notes and preview 10 homes. So, okay, I get it. So it's 4 activities and you do 10 each. 10 contacts to your database, you're adding. 10 connections, you're making outgoing phone calls, and then you write 10 handwritten notes, and you're going to go on the MLS, look in your area of that you like, and wherever your farm area is going to be, and know your farm area. It's all 10 things to do for each activity. Okay?
That's right. Right. Now I remember. Now I can put it on the screen and say, oh, yeah.
Hey, it's a lot to remember. There's always one I leave out, so don't worry. Okay.
I always leave out the preview homes when that's the easy one. Well, it used to be an easy one when we did the caravan. Now we got to do the virtual tours.
I know. Our caravan, we have to do it online now. I know. Yeah. It's all good though. Guys, I want to tell you the power of the handwritten note is huge. I don't want to skip over this, but it is how I've gotten at least 4 of my listings. As I bring, I don't know if you guys can see me. You can't see me, but I keep handwritten these little note cards that I buy from the Dollar Tree. And I have a big stack of them. I keep them in my car so that after a listing appointment, I actually handwrite my note and say, hey, thank you so much for meeting with me. I'll mention something specific from whatever we discussed at the table. And I always end with saying it would be my honor and pleasure to help you, in this, accomplish your goals, whatever the case is. And then I send it off the same day. The next day they get my note. And I mean, it distinguishes me. Nobody writes handwritten notes anymore. If you want to be different and be remembered, that's how to do it. Okay? All right, so let's move on to the next one. Any questions about that? I know we've all gone over this a couple of times. Okay, lead generation for your business. Let's see. This is just basically a sheet that you can use while you're calling, okay? And always make sure that you have something to offer them. That's what the KW mobile app is for. Okay, handwritten notes, we talked about that. You're gonna have people that you've met already, people that are referred to you from other agents or other people that you know. Like Devin, we talked about how many, you're not sure that your sphere of influence can actually, is actually ready to purchase. However, they know 300 people at least that might be ready, willing, and able to buy, sell, invest, or lease. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. As I tell Rasson, who's on my team, I always tell him, listen, buddy, it's not about the apple. It's about the fruit salad. Every time I get on the phone, I'm all about the fruit salad. Whether I'm talking to an agent, a potential client, a friend, family, whoever, I'm always thinking, how can I turn this conversation into more than what it is and an opportunity for everybody involved? Okay? All right. Next page is blank. Let's go to the next one. Get your head in the game. I think we went over this a couple of times in the other classes, but basically what you're doing is you're casting the widest net so that you can find leads. And after you get the leads, you've got to convert those leads into appointments. We talked about how to do that by using leverage. If you're a new agent, talk about being part of a team, like Bill said, and you know, introduce them. All you're doing is setting up an appointment. Your job is to set the appointment. Plain and simple. You brag about your team and what you can do to help. I always tell people, hey, I'm in the business of solving problems. Tell me what's going on. Tell me your situation. Tell me is a great introduction to get people to talk. When I say, and I think Louis Martinez, who's in our office, is he on the call? I don't know if he's on the call. But he was saying that he likes to use open-ended questions, and tell me is one of the ones that he uses a lot. Tell me about this, or how does that make you feel? Those things get people to talk, and all you do is sit back and they just tell you everything, all their business, sometimes more than you want. But you just take mental notes and you find a way to lead in with what you have to say about your team and set the appointment. You should talk to my team. You should let us help you. That's my big thing too. I always tell people, hey, you know what you need to do? You need to let me help you. You need to go on and let me help you. All right. What's your cell phone number? What's your email? And before you know it, I've set up an appointment. That's it. Okay. All right. Also, beyond that, once you have the appointment and you go to meet up with them, you're going to have agreements and then contracts. And we'll get to that. We're not quite there yet. So we'll get to that. Let's go to the next page. Focus on listings. We talked about it having more exposure for you as an agent and how you can leverage that in so many different ways. Right now, a lot of us just need to, put the seed in the ground, pack the dirt on top, water it, and leave it for right now. I think that's what that script is about. The pivot script is about that. But you've got listings for, you've got contracts that you're going to be doing for these folks. But I don't know that we'll all be at that point right now. I really hope so. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have here? I love number 3. Listings are timed leverage. On average, you can close 2 to 3 seller listings to 1 buyer. The time that you spend working on listing is way less than what you would do driving someone around, looking at different properties, going on field trips is what I call them. Okay, so the more listings that you have, the more time that you have to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And
also, having a listing means you have a contract, which increases your chances of doing a deal by 50%.
Yep, all the way. All right. Okay, so now we have a video, guys, and I'm going to play this video for you. Yeah, increasing your chances 50%, I mean, that you're going to get paid again in this business. Thank you for bringing that up, Bill. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. If you've got a listing, there's a really great chance that you're going to get another one and another one and another one if you leverage yourself in the right way. Okay. And for you new agents, it's going to be difficult for you to have all the pieces to that puzzle right away. That's why what Anita was saying is that, doing these postcards and making sure that everybody in the neighborhood knows that you got a listing, $100,000 over the asking price. Who's next? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's watch this video. Hopefully I can get it going for you here. Let me see. Downloads, note, tools. Okay, there we go. And it's this one. Oh, there it goes. Hang on, guys. It's going to KW Connect. There we go. I might have too many windows open. Oh, there it is. Can everybody see it? Who's there? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can see it.
Hi, I'm Josh Bass from Vancouver, Canada. I'm with Keller Williams for 8 years and been selling real estate for 18 years. Now I'm going to walk you through my listing presentation, and it's a 3-step process. The first part is preparation, the second part is presentation, and the third part is follow-up. A lot of my listings come by way of referral and repeat. And so when the call comes in and they want me to come over and list their home, I have a conversation about what their needs are. What exactly is it you're looking to do? Are you moving up? Are you moving down? I have them tell me exactly what the reasons are that they're selling for. I get a real sense of what direction that they want to go. One of the things that we've done to make my appointment setting a little easier is we've time blocked. We follow what Gary says. He says time block everything that you do. And we've time blocked our slots in advance for listing appointments. Every day, Monday to Friday, we have a slot available at 4 o'clock and a second slot available at 5:30. So I've got a potential of 10 listing appointments Monday to Friday. That makes my life a lot easier because I'm able to time block my lead generation first thing in the morning and not have my day so loose and scattered. So I'm trying to scramble on where to put a listing appointment. What we do now in our team is we've decided to go paperless with our evaluations, our CMAs. So instead of printing off paper, what we'll do is we'll take it on the computer and convert it to PDF, mark it up with a highlighter from there on the computer, and then create an email from that. Email that package off to our client prior to going out to their home to list it. What I do when I go on a listing presentation is I meet the sellers at the door, and I have them take me on a tour of the property. During that time, I'm actually asking them to tell me again, to recap again, what their motivation is for selling. So I'm getting them more comfortable with them moving out of their house is what I'm doing. That usually takes about 5 minutes. And when we're done there, we transition right over to the kitchen table. We'll talk about the market, the evaluation itself, and that in itself is about 15 minutes. Once we've agreed upon a price that we're going to list at, we'll sign a listing contract. They sign the initial 3-page contract. They sign the property disclosure statement, and they sign the working with a realtor brochure. Outside of those 3 documents, that's it. I send in my measuring company to come in and measure the home. I send in my stager who's going to contact them to come in and stage the home. And once she's done, then I send in the photographer to take the photos of the home. We always do a follow-up with them as well, just to say, how did that go? What was that experience like for you? Keeps them feeling like they're in control and very much a part of the process. And it lets them know that we're paying attention to every detail on their listing prior to it even being on the market. One of the expectations that I set with the sellers is that I phone them twice a week on purpose. So I set their expectation for me to phone them on Monday mornings with what's called the Monday morning update, where I review everything that's happened for their home over the past weekend with them. The second call that I set them up for to expect is on Fridays, and that's Friday morning market update. And what I've set them up for is that I'm going to talk to them about any new listings that have hit the market, any expireds that have come off the market, and any solds that have actually just happened since that past week. They also know that on Friday, we're going to be talking about the numbers. Does the current list price that we're at right now still make sense in relation to the latest listings or the most current solds? They know in advance that that conversation could lead to a price reduction. And a lot of times they bring that on themselves. They say, hey, look, you know what, it looks like we might be a bit high drop. Should we bring it down? So it's a natural transition to a price reduction. One of the reasons I choose not to do a pre-listing package is when I'm sitting in front of them, I really want their full focus on me. I want their attention on me, and I want to be able to ask them questions where they're giving me their full attention and not flipping through a pre-listing package. Most of their questions are going to come straight. That's really what I want. I'm Josh Bath, and I just shared my listing presentation with you, and I wish you all the best with yours.
Okay. All right, who's got some thoughts about that? Anybody? I'm patient. Okay, somebody's microphone is, oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so does anybody have any comments about anything stand out on this video for you? No? Anybody? Okay, so I'm going to say a couple of things about this video. Yeah, it's a little generic, but it kind of puts it all into place, into perspective about how generally a listing presentation goes. There's so many different things that I would do a little bit different. It seems like, you know, there's not a lot of focus on the home, okay? I think that when I was working with one of my coaches, what he said was the #1 complaint that sellers have is that realtors come in and they really don't care about the house. They're just looking to sit at the table and, you know, blab about whatever is in their presentation. And really, you know, to take time to focus on the home is probably the most important thing that I do that's different than everybody else. First of all, I show up to the property about 15-20 minutes early, and I'm in my car, I'm getting my stuff together, and I get out about, you know, maybe I have 10 minutes left, and I'll get out 10 minutes early, and then I'm standing at the curb with my notepad, just like this, and I'm taking notes, and I'm looking like, oh, okay, and I'm kind of talking to myself, and I might even take a picture too. Believe me, that seller is looking out the window. They know that you're there, and they know that you're interested in the house. And I always have, my seller always comes out and meets me outside. I'll be like, look what you did to the paint here is, it's perfect. Let me tell you why. Da, 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 da. And I'll say, and you've added these flowers here? Whose idea was that? Oh my God, brilliant. I never say like, hey, the house is beautiful. You've done a, you know, I always use things that are specific. I'll point out things like I'm the expert on the curb, checking out the house. They're going to want to know what I think. And I'm going to compliment them in a way that is authentic and comes from my heart, you know? So I think that's what I would add in here, that, you know, it's got to be personal, you know. There's nothing more personal than someone's home. You know, that's where you go, you sleep, you play, you laugh, you raise your family. Everything happens in that home. And you need to just acknowledge the home itself. That is the product that you're going to be selling. So I think people skip past that. And on this video, I think he didn't give too much attention to it. But I would really, I love that he's got it all in 3 steps. That's awesome. But I would really take more time to focus on the home. And I don't know if Nicole told you guys this, but I dragged her to a listing appointment with me. Nicole Grant, our team leader. I said, hey, do you want to come with me? I was a little nervous. I always get nervous, by the way. I know I've been in the business forever, but I always get nervous when I have a listing appointment. And I took her with me, and she walked, you know, she saw me do what I do. I said, she wanted to go inside. I said, no, we don't go inside yet. She goes, what do you mean? I said, no, we're going to stand at the curb and we're going to make comments. And do you know, the seller came out. He came out and he was like, oh, da, da, da. And then we introduced ourselves, and we you know, we already had a connection. The connection is the house. And if you pay attention to the house, you'll always be connected to the seller. Point blank. Anybody have thoughts about that?
Sounds like a great program.
Yeah. Okay. Try it next time. All right. So I know I'm supposed to go through this other stuff with you, but I want to show you this other video because it's really good. And it's from Jean Rivers, who is Nicole's favorite. Shout out to Nicole. Jean Rivers is she's a coach for Keller Williams, and he's phenomenal. He's brilliant. He also has 3 steps, but a totally different approach. And I want you to see this one, okay? Let me see, where's my list? Hang on. Is that it? There it is. Okay. This is really it in a nutshell for everybody who is wondering, how the hell do I get a listing? All right, this is it right here. He has given it to you in a nutshell. If you do everything in this video, you will have a business based on listings. I promise you. Okay, let's hear what he has to say. Let me see. How do I do this? There we go.
Hi, my name is Gene Rivers, and I'm here today to tell you how to develop your listing skills to a very high level. And after you've done that, you'll be able to go in and take over market share. Number one, the best source for listing leads is from your sphere and past client list. The fact is, the people you know the people that are going to be moving, whether it's at church, school, work, friends, relatives. Focus on making sure they understand you're in the listing business. Create a pre-listing package that you would give every seller, but rename it your guide to selling homes successfully in your market. And then give that to people in your database that you know have influence, as collateral materials that they can give to their friends and refer you. Step 2, focus on an area, product, or price range. When you develop mastery of a product or an area, you will much more quickly succeed in those areas. And in that area or in that product or price range, focus on the FSBOs in that area, the expireds in that area, door knock in that area, geographic farm in that area, and I'm talking a fairly tight area, so that the people in that area will really, really identify with you as someone who can help them sell property for top dollar with low hassle in a short amount of time. Now we're at number 3. Everyone today that's looking at hiring an agent, whether it's a referral, even a past client, or a stranger who's gotten your name somehow, they're going to check you out on the web. So you need to make sure that your website is competent, that you've got basic, powerful content in there, and specifically that on the landing page, at the very opening page, there is a direct offering to a seller. Find out what your home is worth, get a guide to selling your home. But if you don't do that, you're going to miss opportunities, because people will get your name, check your website out, and go, I don't think so. I've seen a lot better sites. Fix your website with a database that you are working on a consistent basis. And with a tight focus, you build your reputation. If you're visible, you will find you will take over more and more listings. And in a very short amount of time, 12 to 24 months, you will own that market. That's how you take market share.
Go, Gene Rivers. He's like, fix your website. I love that about him. You know, he's very direct and straight to the point. He's put this down in 3 steps. Man, if you do everything on here, you will have listings. I promise you. So who has some thoughts about those 3 steps? Let me run it back to you. It's talking to your sphere or your database with a guide on how to sell your home successfully, okay? 2 is focus on your farm. Find a niche area, wherever that's going to be, Inglewood, I don't know, Westwood, wherever you're going to go. Pick a 500 home radius where you're going to focus on building your name in that specific area, okay? And you can also reach out and do those Facebook ads through command, and you can master it. Okay. Also, number 3 that he said, very super important. If you are planning on building a business of listings, your website has to be tight as a duck's butt, guys. Like this can't, like that's your resume. If they go to your website and your resume, it's out of order, or it doesn't look like you're in business, they won't want to work with you. Okay. So who has anything that they can bring to this conversation with regards to these 3 steps? I mean, each step has some layers to it, but which one stands out the most that maybe it's something you need to work on, or maybe it's something you already feel confident about? Who wants to speak to these 3 items? Anybody?
Anita here. I definitely need to work on my social media presence and webpage. I know I have to do that.
Okay.
And I'm kind of struggling with it, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to get it done.
Yeah. What are some things that you can do to work on that today?
Probably take some more YouTube classes.
Well, here's the thing. We have Scott Leroy. I don't know if Lanisha told you about that, but Scott Leroy, they're a service, Scott Leroy Marketing. They're a service that is designed specifically for us and also new agents. And basically you tell them, hey, I need you to set up my Keller Williams website. At least have something there that shows that you're in business and that you look professional, and it's a place for people to land. Okay. Scott Leroy, all you do is you call them. Brandon can give you the information about them, but you'll reach out to them and say, hey, I need you to set up my Keller Williams Inglewood website, and they'll do it for you. You fill out one sheet and they populate that information into it's a generic website, but it's something that you can also customize to your liking. It's something. It's better than nothing.
Okay. Actually, I do have something that Keller Williams set up, but I don't think it was through Scott Leroy.
Okay.
So I have to find out what happened with that or what's going on. The
best thing to do, guys, and this is your homework, is to Google yourself. Google your name. Okay? And when you do that, I want you to realize that that is what sellers are going to see. So if there is something there that you don't like, let me see. I don't know. Let me see if I can Google myself. I don't know. Even now, I will go and check and make sure that there's nothing ugly there that I don't want people to see. But mostly, I'm going to see like what, and I'll do a search also for Inglewood, realtor, and see if I even pop up, or Lemert, realtor. If I pop up, that's great. If, and a lot of times that's how I get business, is because I'm online. I am everywhere online. I try to make it my business to be online everywhere. Okay, let's see.
While you're doing that, another good one is to go into some of the popular websites and just fill in your profile. So you may not sign up for Zillow for leads, but you go in and create a Zillow profile.
Yep.
Because those automatically get, when you put your name in, that'll be a part of your profile that comes up when you get Googled. So you can do that with Google, you can do it with Realtor.com, you can do it with Zillow, Redfin, Trillia, all those search engines. You'll come up when they Google your name as being associated with them.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you're a small fish in a big pond. The big pond is Keller Williams. And when you're attached to that, it makes you big. It makes you big. Okay? So that's what we call leverage. That's also leverage. Great point. Great point.
And Brandon's really helpful too with getting like the ads and social media together. So tap into Brandon. Don't be scared to set up a call with him and just tell him you need a 101 course on what do I need to do to get better search results, and he can probably give you some suggestions.
Excellent point. The other thing, besides Googling yourself and seeing what's on the page, like there's, I got stuff here, but I've been in the business for a long time, so there's going to be stuff about me. But for the new people, I highly recommend that you Google yourself and see what's there, because that's what someone will see when they decide they want to think about working with you. Okay. The other thing, I love that suggestion about attaching yourself to a Zillow, registering yourself anywhere online. But the first place you need to go to, guys, is Google. You need to have a Google business page. I think we talked about that, Lanisha. And I think you did one. By the way, Lanisha has a great presence. Do you mind if I look you up?
Sure.
Lanisha.
My latest one that I like is HomeSnap. I like how they have their profile and reviews. So I'm trying to get some more reviews on there because they have a nice reach as well.
Yes, they do. Okay, which one is your... That's your LAUC. Okay, that's
all those are me.
They're all you. Where's your main website? That's realtor.com.
Oh, sorry.
Here it is.
There it is.
Okay. So.
Did you see realtor.com comes up before that?
Yeah. It does. Right. Exactly. So you want to register there as well. I see your point. So this is her website. There's no limit to what we can accomplish together. I love it. Okay, looks professional. Let's meet. Okay, our services. Boom. It doesn't look generic. It looks like, and I don't know, my screen is taking a while to upload, but it looks like she's in business. Happy clients, investments. She's got stories here. Sorry, it's taking a while for mine to load, as you can see. But I just want to show you that that's something that, you guys all have to look at. Bill, tell us about your online presence. We working on it? I don't know. I might have lost him. Yeah, he's there. Okay. Anyways, very, very important to have that. Okay, guys? All right. So that video, there's 3 major points. Let's go back over them one more time. Your sphere of influence, reaching out to your database, offering them something of value, which is the seller's guide to successful sale. All right. If you need help coming up with that value added product that you can send to them via, email, or you want to put it in the mail, either one. Reach out to Brandon and ask him, hey, what can I give out to people to get them to want to work with me and want to, do a listing with me? That's number 1. Okay. Number 2 is the farm area. And what he said was to really focus on a specific area and make sure that you're door knocking there, that you're doing mailers there, that you're sending out postcards. Like everything that you do needs to be surrounded in that area. Okay. And then the website, we discussed that. I think best thing to do really, guys, is to really, if you don't have a Google business page, you got to have one. Make sure that you do that today. Okay. Let's see. So where are we with, oh, no, that's not the right one. Sorry. Okay, here we go. All right, so we watched the videos and we understand the basics of, what it's like to do a listing presentation, and also how we get listings, which is what Jean Rivers was talking about. Working with sellers, making it happen. These pre-qualifying questions is what I really want to get to, okay? You want to pre-qualify your seller. You always want to make sure that you're working with somebody who's motivated, somebody who is ready, willing, and able to make a move within the next 30 days. That's what you want to determine, like what's their motivation. And that's all based on leading with curiosity and empathy when you talk to your clients or your leads, your potential leads. And you want to put yourself to be in a position as the expert. And whether you're new or not, you're putting yourself in a position presenting yourself as somebody who knows how to solve problems. So it may be that, hey, you know, you need to meet my business partner. Let me set up a call to have her reach out to you. Okay. And of course you want to win the listing. This one doesn't really talk too much about signing the contract. That's a whole nother beast. But right now, this is really focusing on how do you find leads for sellers, and how do you get them to want to work with you to do to set up an appointment and have a presentation. Okay. All right. So let's go back through here as well. Pre-qualifying the seller. Okay. There should be some questions here. Here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. Okay. So obviously this is a great tool to have. And this is just about 10 questions that you want to do in about 5 minutes. And you always want to ask people, how did you hear about me? Because if they heard about you on Yelp and everybody's hearing about you on Yelp, then guess where you need to put all your attention when it comes to marketing? Yelp. Okay. Where are you going to be moving to? That's very important. If your seller doesn't know where they're going to land afterwards, it can complicate things quite a bit. Where are you going to move to after this? Oh, you're moving to Alabama to take care of your mom. Excellent. Wonderful. Throughout the whole transaction, I am reminding that seller, listen, now if we want to get you to Alabama to take care of your mom, we're going to have to do A, B, and C. We're going to have to paint everything white. We're going to have to stage this place. We need top dollar for you to get to Alabama, take care of your mama. I mean, those are things that once you know what that motivation is, you use that and you tick on it every single time that there is any kind of opposition. You're regrouping with your seller and saying, hey, this is the focus. Okay. Number 3, what's motivating you to move there? Number 4, how soon do you have to be there? What's your timeline? If they're thinking, okay, well, I'm not going to, you know, my timeline is a year. And in a year, I always say, well, what's happening in a year? You know, I want to know, like, what's pushing this out? Tell me about that. What's going on in a year? What did I miss? Yeah. And everything that I say and do with my clients and when I'm doing the presentation is that it's all about them and it's all conversational. I am the same way I'm talking to you right now is how I talk to all my clients. Same thing. I always leave my sales hat in the trunk. Okay, so everything needs to be conversational and lead from a place of authenticity from your heart because people can feel that. All right, number 5, if we sell your home in the next 30 days, will that pose a problem for you? If yes, why would that be a problem or what's the problem? Okay, number 6, what would happen if your home did not sell? Number 7, how much do you want to list your home for? They're going to obviously say, well, isn't that the reason why you're here? So the idea for that presentation, when you're doing your marketing proposal, as I call it, you're going to have, you know, the top 3 comparable sales. I never use that word with my clients, but the top 3 homes that look just like theirs. I always bring that and I put it on the table and I say, okay, these are out of all the homes that have sold in a half-mile radius in the last 6 months, these are the ones that I thought would closely fit yours. And you're going to tell me which one, now that I've narrowed it down to 3, tell me which one looks the most like yours. And I let them, I'll put that on the table and I say, and while you're doing that, I'm going to go look at that great dining room that you have, blah, blah, blah. I'll leave them alone. I'll find a reason to break away and let them look on their own. So I'm not hovering over them, trying to get them to make a decision. I will break away and say, I just want to snap a picture of that backyard, the way you did the garage and everything. It just looks, I know that's what's going to sell this house. I want to grab a picture of that. While I'm doing that, I want you to look at these, pick out the one that matches yours the most. I'll go do that. And if it's a couple, I'll let them talk amongst themselves. It's an awesome breakaway. It gives them, you know, reason to discuss amongst themselves without me sitting there and pressuring them. you know, how they feel about me and how they feel about the price and how they feel about everything. Okay. So, anyways, I'll have them pick and I say, okay, well, let's look at the price. This one sold for this much. And they end up picking the price themselves. If you learn anything from me today, guys, when it comes to the listing presentation, it is not your job to argue with them about the price. You're on their team. And that's the most important thing that you need to remember. You're on their team. As a team, you're going to sell the home so they can get to Alabama and take care of their mama. That's it. So you let them decide. You're going to present them with options and have them choose. And you get on their page, but you're going to set everything up in the expectation from the beginning of how it should go. But it needs to seem like it's their idea and that you're on board. Okay? All right. Any questions or thoughts about that? What do you guys think about the breakaway? Do you like that idea?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I have to say that it's been the reason how I get it's definitely how I get people to connect with me. And I come back in and I mean, the first thing I do when I walk into the house is, you know, I'll put my stuff down. I'll say, hey, can I put my stuff here, please? Okay, good. All right. Now show me the house. I go straight into it. Show me the house, because I've already been on the curb talking about how much I love the curb appeal. I said, show me the house. I cannot wait to see it. You need to make sure that that seller knows on point you are interested in the house. And then when you sit down at the table, you are interested in them. Who are they and why are they moving? When do they need to move? And, you know, all of those things, everything is designed around them. Okay? All right. What number were we on? Sorry. Okay. How much do you owe on the property? That's important. How much do you owe on the property? These are little tidbits. I would ask that before I get there, actually. That's a question. I don't know if these questions are designed. Do you have 5 minutes? Okay, these questions are designed to ask when you're on the phone or before you meet with them. Okay. All right. So how much they owe on the property? Like how much is their mortgage right now? Okay, because that will have a lot to do with where you price the listing. And Lanisha is going to have a class tomorrow, and she's going to talk all about pricing. So make sure you're on that call. The other thing, number 9, I'll be sending you a package of information. Will you take a few minutes to review it? So you're setting it up already. Hey, listen, I'm going to send you the pre-listing package. You don't call it that, but you just let them know I'm going to get something. Just make sure you know, take a few minutes to look at it before I get there. That'll make our call go, our appointment go a little bit smoother. All right. Do you have questions before we meet? Give them an opportunity to ask you any questions, and don't get into too much detail over the phone. Please don't try to sell this over the phone, and don't talk about commission on the phone. Okay. Don't do it. They'll ask you and just say, actually, that's something we're going to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up. We're going to go over all of those things tomorrow when I see you at 2 o'clock. Perfect. What else you got? Okay. And also number 11 is huge. Is everybody who's going to be selling the house with you, and will they be there? The best time for us to meet is when everybody is there. Okay. So you don't have to go backtrack, or, you know, you present to one person and you got to present to someone else, and you want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Okay. All right. Just so you know, our meeting will take about 35 minutes. I always say 38 minutes because usually I try to make it so that, you know, it's something I've timed, and I don't want to, I set the expectation that I'm not going to be there all day. Okay. And I look forward to meeting you. Boom. All right. Anybody have Bill, you have any other things that you would add to this on the phone call? You there, Bill? You might have left. Okay. So guys, let's talk about what's in this pre-listing package. Okay, I think this is probably the most important thing that we're going to need to talk about is what's in your pre-listing package. I'm going to tell you what's in mine. It is about 6 or 7 pages, no more than that. And it's basically, who are we? Appreciate Properties. We're a team of professionals. We live in South LA. We work in South LA. We love South LA. And these are the areas where we work. And this is what we bring to the table with regards to helping you guys accomplish your dreams, whatever the case is. Number 2, I give a list of all the properties that I've recently sold that are in South LA that are close to their home, that mirror their home. And I show how much over that listing price that I brought it to, how many days that it took on the market. And then I also have a page that talks about who we are as individuals, who I am, who Rason is. Miles is also on my team, my husband, and also my transaction coordinator. Okay, that's all on my team page. I also include 2 pages, very brief, of Yelp reviews, people who have reviewed my services, so they can see, the connection that I've had with my other clients and how much work I've done in the past. Okay. Then also, I had the last page is why Keller Williams. Attach yourself to a huge entity. It just makes you look big. Okay. All right. So that's what's in the pre-listing package. And is there anything else, Lanisha? Is there anything on here that that you would add that I didn't put in my pre-listing package?
I add a couple of samples of the marketing material.
Oh, good.
And it's more so just like a postcard, but it looks like a house. Like I've used past sales on some of the marketing examples, but more so it's the page I use. It has a good graphics in that it just shows an array of the different types of advertising. So it's yard sign, it's a text number, it's a postcard, it's flyers, it's, so it kind of gives this array of it being so many different marketing opportunities. And then the MLS does, when you list on that, you get like 500 different websites that piggyback off of the MLS listing. So they get all this massive exposure by working with you.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. And show them how you work in action. I love that. Show them that the proof is in the pudding. And for those of you who are new and you don't have all these items, all the more reason to attach yourself to a team or a mentor that can help you really, be big in that. Your job really is to set that appointment. Okay. I can't stress that enough. And your mentor or your team will help you put this product together. All right. Let's keep it moving here because I know we've got half an hour left here. It's all about the seller. I love this page, but it comes too late. This needs to be the first thing that you think about. In Win with the Seller, it all needs to be about the seller. Like, who is this person as an individual, as a client? Who's part of their family? Like, why are they moving? What are the intricacies of, dealing with someone, like changing their life? That's really what they're doing. And your job is to go deep with them. If you want to have a client for life, that's what you'll do. You'll go deep with them and understand what's really motivating them, what's in their heart, how is that moving everything? Because setting things up from the beginning, setting the expectation from the beginning is going to be so important to you being able to have a successful transaction, okay? And to build business for years to come. All right. Let's see, something's popping up on my screen. Sorry, my MLS is timing out. Okay, sorry. All right, so it's all about the seller. This is your commitment to them. There's about 14 pages of your guide. This is the actual guide to selling your home. And guys, all of this stuff is in the back office. And it's there for you to create this guide, and you can hand this guide out. You can always customize it to your liking. and make sure that, you know, if you're new, this is, at least it's something that you're handing out, okay? It might be generic, but it's there, and it's better than nothing. And your job is to get out there and create value for other people. And like I said, what you're doing is you're planting your seed in the garden, okay? This is a commitment that you're setting the expectation of what you're going to offer to your sellers. And I'm going to, this is 8 pages of this seller's guide, okay? And I'm going to skip past a lot of this stuff because we're running out of time, but let's go to the bottom of here. Okay, and at the end, it's about me. And we listened to, Josh, we listened to the videos already, which I really liked. Let's talk about the listing appointment. And this is what they said on Josh's video that we just watched, is that these are the steps that you take to once you have the listing appointment. You're going to greet your seller. Me, I greet at the curb. I have them come out and greet me. They want to know who I am. Once I'm standing out there taking notes about their property and really engaging in, you know, what is it that I'm going to be selling? You know, this is someone's home and they have worked really hard to make it look good. And that's, once you acknowledge that, you immediately make a connection with your client, okay? And that's the best way to greet your client, is having them come out and say, hey, what are you doing out here? And then you automatically start talking about the house. Once you get into the house, you're going to say, okay, can I put my stuff here? Can I have a glass of water? And then I say, show me what else you got. With my glass of water, I'm having them, you know, talk about the house. And I say, is it okay if I put this down? Can I get my notebook? This is really good stuff. Okay. And I'm taking notes throughout the whole tour when they're taking me on the tour. You also want them to be able to lead you to show, you know, what they've done. And one of the questions that I always ask my sellers is, hey, what made you buy this house? When you came in here for the first time, what moved you so much? Show me what it is. And then they take me on a story and a journey, and we're connecting the whole time. And that is something that I don't think that a lot of people do when they go to these listing appointments. And quite frankly, guys, you're going to be competing with other agents. That's not in here. That's not in any of these pages, but you're going to be competing with other agents. And the best way that I know that I have beat out the last 3 listings, I've beat people out is through having a connection. And my handwritten note. I got to say, don't skip over that. That handwritten note is huge. Okay. So that's the greeting. Walking through the home. Let's get to that. Okay. There's a checklist here for walking through the home. Okay. Keep your home tour checklist with you while you're going. If you're new, you'll have this. And you can check off things that are there, because we look at a lot of houses. Knowing what's there and the condition of it and making your notes is going to be huge. I think the link for this is at the end. Oh, it's on KW Connect. Okay, so it's 2 pages of what the floor looks like, the ceiling, the bathrooms, how many bedrooms, all of these things. Make sure you take copious notes while you're doing this. Okay, the listing presentation. Create a great impression to build the seller's confidence in you as their real estate agent of choice to get their home sold, okay? Share your price recommendation. Like I said, I always have 3 of the top comparable sales. I print out the pictures so that they have it right there on paper, what the inside of it's the MLS sheet. And behind that is the pictures printed out from the MLS. And I said, these are the 3. Which one do you think looks most like yours? Let me go take a picture of the garden that I love so much. I want to get a picture of that. You look at this, and when I get back, we're going to talk about it. Okay, that's how that goes. I let them recommend the price. I just kind of make it seem like it's their idea. I only give them 3 choices, and we'll navigate. Hey, you know, this one doesn't look like yours. This one has hardwood floors. So we'll match and compare. On the video that Josh did, it said, oh, we're going to go over the comparable sales, and that takes about 15 minutes. Guys, it doesn't take 15 minutes. It's going to take the majority of the time because that's what they want to know first. Okay? All right. And all throughout this, you're setting the expectation for how the market is. When you have those 3 examples, plus you have a full list of all the comparable sales within a half-mile radius, you can point to that full list and you say, from that full list, these are the 3 that match you the most. Okay? Anybody have any questions on that? Or anything to add? Lanisha, is there something you do differently?
No, for the most part, it's pretty consistent. I have kind of a standard listing presentation that I got from a good printer, real nice copies that I put into a folder. And on one side, on the left side, and on the right side, I have a sheet that says comparables, and I put them behind that. So we go over it and we look at the pictures and we look at price per square foot and any type of rationale or question they may have as to what would be a good price indication. We look at average days on market. All that comes in a CMA that you get from the MLS. So you don't have to try to compute those numbers or come up with those facts. It's all in a CMA. So as long as you're able to print that from your MLS, you can put that as your comparable report and pull out just the pages you need, because it's like a 75-page report if you don't pull out just what you need. So you pull out the pages you need, and then you can have that discussion, and they can walk away with that package. I like to leave them stuff so that they can say, oh yeah, we talked about the marketing. We talked about, you know, the neighbor's house that sold a month ago. We talked about, so then they have something they can, tangible that they can walk away with. Otherwise, I'm pretty consistent with everything you said.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on the same page. We're doing good. That's huge. Yeah. Same thing with me. I have a folder, a black folder, and I put my, I have one side, everything is on one side that has to do with the marketing, and then everything that has to do with pricing. And what I'll do is I'll open that folder and I'll say, okay, let's talk about a couple of things. I brought you some stuff. You ready? And then I said, okay, which one do you want to talk about first? I can talk to you about marketing, or I can talk to you about pricing. Which would you like to do first? Give them a choice, because then they say, okay, well, let's talk about the price. They always talk about the price first because that's what they want to know. Cut to the chase, get to the stuff. It's not, you know, it's real simple about, you know, hey, let's go over this. And now let me show you how I'm going to cast the widest net to help you get this sold. And that's when you talk about the marketing, what you can do with the postcards and circle prospecting, door knocking, all of those things can come up at that point. Okay. All right. So that's the listing presentation in itself. Okay. And all of these, if you don't have a listing presentation, guys, all of this stuff is in the back office. And you can customize it to yourself. It's in Command as well. Make sure that you go in there and customize it now. You know, start acting as if you're going on a listing appointment. You may not have one right now, but at least when you do, you won't be scrambling to try to get this stuff ready. That brings up another point that I want to make before we close up too, is that, you know, we spend so much time hearing people say no or maybe later that we don't know what to do when someone actually says yes. We kind of get nervous when someone says yes. We're like, oh, what do you mean? Yes? Okay. But you have to step into that being prepared. And I would say the first thing you should do is go and customize a listing presentation for yourself. Have somebody else look at it. Somebody that's been in the business a long time, send me your listing presentation. I'll look at it. I'll tell you what you can add or how to run through it. I'm more than happy to give you some feedback. But have it ready and have it sitting on your desk every day. Just like, hey, I'm going to use that when I get my call from my seller, or when I make that call and somebody wants to sell, this is what I'm going to be talking about. Okay. All right, have it ready. What does they say? Build it and they will come, right? That's it. Okay, let's get to the next page. Okay, that's the guide to selling your home. Okay. In preparation, confirm your appointment time. Okay, so if you have an appointment tomorrow, you know, or next Wednesday, you're gonna, you know, the Tuesday before, you're gonna say, hey, just wanted to confirm our appointment on this day at this time. I'll see you then. Looking forward to talking to you. You can do that by text, email, or you can call them. Okay. Number 2, show up on time. I always show up early because I'm at the curb with my notebook. All right. That just gives you a chance to really feel like you're prepared. Like I told you, every single listing appointment I have, I swear, I've been in the business forever and I always get nervous. Always. I'll walk past the front desk and Brandon and oh God, I'm blanking out on her name. Oh my goodness. Brandon is always like, hey, what's wrong with you? And I said, oh my God, I have a listing appointment. He's like, you've done this before. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. But I was Trish. I'm sorry, I forgot Trish's name. Brandon and Trish, they're always like rooting me on, like, go Heather. But I always get nervous. And I don't know why, but I just know that I'm about to do something so meaningful that if I didn't feel nervous, you know, I won't feel like this big rush afterwards. When I walk out of there and I know I got the listing, oh my God, it is the best feeling in the whole world. It's awesome. All right, so let's keep going. Number 3, have a copy of the listing presentation for the sellers with no script notes, okay? Number 4, have business cards to present with a copy of the listing presentation. Number 5, know the comparable sales. If you, it's best if you don't know the neighborhood to go and drive by some of these comps that you're going to present and make sure that you know them. Oh yeah, that's the one with the yellow door. Or, oh no, they have a shared driveway. Or if you know anything else that you can add to these 3 or any on your sheet of all the comparable sales, make sure you bring that in, okay? Let's see, the appointment. We kind of went over that dialogue a little bit. I'm going to skip to the next page. Okay. There's a list here that I'm looking for. Let's talk about asking questions for a second. The questions that we ask in this business, whether you're dealing with a buyer or a seller, an investor, even a lease client, those questions are so important to how things are going to go, whether you're going to close or not, okay? As much information as you can find from the beginning, that is going to help you so much. I really encourage you to pick 3 questions, memorize those questions, and have them on deck, okay? Number 1, you know, is more of a statement that I do, which is, oh, so tell me what's going on. Tell me your story. That's the one thing I always lead with, you know. If somebody asks me something, how's the market? And, you know, that the answer to that question now is totally different, right? So you need to know like what that script is. When someone asks you how's the market, be prepared with what to say and how to lead them into a conversation that talks about doing business together and creating value. All right. So 3 questions that you really want to be able to ask anybody. Number 1 is tell me your story. It's really a lead in. It's not a question. It's like, hey, tell me what's your situation. Tell me what's going on. Then they talk and then you can ask questions from there based on what they're talking about. Okay. The other one is, you know, to be able to say, well, you know, how can we solve this problem? And here's what you need to do. You should let us help you. You need to let us help you. Okay. And then the other thing would be, hey, what time can I have my business partner call you? Or what time can I call you to set up an appointment to come and see the home? The first thing you want to do if you get somebody on the phone and they're wanting to sell their home, you can ask a certain amount of questions, but your job is to keep it simple, ask the basic questions, and then set the appointment. Okay. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that your job is to set that appointment, get in there to see the house before anybody else can do it. Because believe me, if that seller is calling you and reaching out to you, they're reaching out to other people also. So you only have a certain amount of time to make a connection, and asking the right questions is going to be super important. Here we go. Some rules of communication. Ask lots of questions. Listen more than you talk. Affirm their responses with great. That's wonderful. That's okay, but just make sure that, you don't sound generic or scripted when you're doing that. You can add to this by, and how did that make you feel? Or if they mention something that someone passed away or that someone's getting married, interrupt to celebrate that. Wow, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Or, oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Tell me a little bit more. That's what I always say. Tell me more about that. Don't assume they already know something. They understand what you've already told them. And they're basically looking to you to really lay it out for them. And I always tell people in the beginning, I say, listen, I have a very mama bear style, and I tend to coddle people, and I sometimes over-explain things. So if I'm doing that, just let me know. But I always start from the beginning and take it in baby steps. Is that okay with you? Yes. Or, oh, I've sold a home. They'll tell me, oh, well, I've done this before. I say, okay, and when was the last time you had a transaction? Oh, 10 years ago. Things are a lot different now. So maybe let's go back through this, and then you can ask me anything you want to know. And that's how I lead with that, okay? All right. Let's see what we've got here. We talked about some of these questions. These are great questions that you could start with. If you had to memorize some questions, start with this, okay? Your job at the end of this is to say, okay, this sounds great. Sounds totally doable. What I want to make sure that we do is that I want to make sure that we meet up so we can go over a couple of things. Your job is to set that appointment, okay? And this is all a guide to selling your home. These are all, I encourage you guys to really go through this and read it in detail so that you can pull some things from here that really make sense for who you are. Sahara started from the beginning and said, she feels really uncomfortable when she's having to call her sphere of influence people that she knows. And they're like, she doesn't want to sound like she's a salesperson. So in order to be able to have this roll off your tongue and sound conversational, you've got to read these things first. Practice, talk to your mentor, talk to whoever you're going to align yourself with in the office, and really practice this, because if you don't, it's going to sound scripted, okay? And the scripts that we use in the beginning, and I know Devin was talking about this too, is that, they do sound generic, but at the same time, it's just a guideline. Once you memorize that, then you can put some Devin on it. Then you can put some Sahara on it, or some Lanisha. Add some flavor to it, so it sounds more like a dance, if you will. All right. So at the end of this, there's, why Keller Williams is a little bit about our company, and you can always throw that in if you need to. But really, this listing presentation, this appointment that you have with the seller, that is the most important opportunity that you'll have in your career. It is about the seller. So your job is to really find ways to connect with them. And I think the information in here is going to help you do that. Okay. All right. So let's get to, that's a guide. You have some technology things. This is still more of the guide to selling your home. And there's some notes here. Let me see, there was something really in here that I wanted to show you guys. what you get from me. This is a commitment from you to the seller that you're going to have good communication and a great experience, and that you're going to do everything you can to market the property and to price it, and to help them come to a decision about pricing that matches the market. Okay, because guys, the bottom line here is that the seller can sell for whatever price they want, but the buyer is the one who moves the market. It is the buyer who ultimately determines where that price is going to go. Now, once you get this listing, and you only get one chance to be new and fabulous on the market. That's it, once. Once you drop that price, people are going to be looking for a discount. That's it. So once you're able to hit the market, you want to do it in the right way with the best pricing that makes the most sense to attract the most amount of buyers. So those are some power words that I use when I'm talking to my seller. And you're going to pick up on power words also. And the best way for you to do that is obviously if you're an experienced agent and you're on the call today, you're going to know what those power words are just by reading the material that's here. If you're a new agent, you're going to be watching your mentor or that person that you've aligned yourself with do the presentation. That is the best way to learn. For you to jump in and see how it's done is to get on the court and be right there while it's happening. Okay? If you don't have someone in the office that can help you, you need to reach out to Nicole and ask her who you can align yourself with. I would not, if I was a new agent, I would not try to tackle a listing by myself. I just wouldn't. But if you feel like you can do it, hey, more power to you. But remember, you only get one chance, and you'll probably be competing with 3 other agents. And that's, as long as you can study that and you study those objections that might come up. Objections would be like, oh, I'm going to be interviewing other people, or, what's your commission going to be? All of those things you have to know the answer to those things before you get to the appointment. Okay. All right. Let's see where else we're going with this guideline. There's 42 pages in this. It's really long. I wouldn't give somebody something this long. I would take out, like Lanisha said, with regards to the cloud CMA, the comparative market analysis that you can do through the MLS, take out the pages that might not make more sense. You shouldn't give people more than about 7, 10, maybe 12 pages to read because it becomes overwhelming. Just give them the basics, stick to the facts, stick to the things that are going to sell you in the best possible way as the right person to do the job. Okay. And this talks a lot about the technology and staging. Staging is, I don't know that that's something that we're doing right now. I know I have a listing in Lemert that's coming up. And the stager called me and she said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do this deal with you because of what's happening with the coronavirus. And I said, I totally understand. So now I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my head together with the seller and say, hey, okay, here's some options. I may have one other person that can stage it for them, but we just might have to sell this bad boy blank. Okay.
Well, you could do virtual staging now.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And I'm so glad you brought that up because if you have a company, I'm more than happy to call them. Because I don't have
I've been looking at a few. I haven't done it yet, but I looked at a couple of them. I'll send you the websites I've been looking at.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, guys, this is all new for me too. And even though I've been in the business for forever, I still get stuck. I still get scared. There's stuff I don't know. And the way that I overcome that, first of all, I just stay determined. I'm not going to let nothing get in my way. I got a listing. I'm going to do it. But one of the other things is that I have allies and soldiers that I call on when I have to, come up against a problem and solve that problem. We're in the business of solving problems. So you can't do that alone. That's for sure. You cannot solve problems alone. It's all about leverage. So, I mean, thank God, Lanisha's next door, because I would go over there and knock on the door and be like, how do I do this? Or what do I say to this person? Even now, I still need help, So if you're at the beginning and you're feeling at a loss, leverage yourself by aligning yourself with someone else in the office, okay? All right, thank you for that, Lanisha. Let's see what else is in this packet. The home selling process. Obviously, we just went through that, and I gave you the skinny on it. You can take the time to read through this. And this is, service and marketing. It's really, there's a 14-step marketing plan. Guys, all of this stuff is totally different now that we have this virus going on. We can't just step to people and go do listing appointments. We have to do Zoom appointments. And to be quite honest, I haven't had one of those. I'm going to set it up the way I know I can, which is over the phone and being able to connect over the phone. The marketing of it, obviously, that stuff can be done online. And there are ways that we can, step in and do a video, a virtual tour, obviously, and with what Lanisha is saying, to stage the property with virtual staging. That's an excellent idea. But you're going to need help with these things, and it takes, it's going to take all of us putting our heads together to really know how to navigate this. Okay. But one thing that's in here is the offers and negotiations. Obviously, we only have 7 minutes, but I'm going to go through a little bit about, I wonder if I can bring up, I have a spreadsheet that I use. I wonder if I can find it. And it has all the offers in it. Let's see. I don't know if I have it on here, but it's a seller spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet basically has all the offers that came in. And the offers are categorized. They're basically, you're going to have multiple offers on almost everything. Maybe not so much now as much, but your job is to condense and make it clear what's in that offer when you present that to the sellers. After you've done your marketing and you've got people wanting to, you're going to show the house, or you'll have your virtual tour and do private showings. And then at that point, you're going to have people writing you offers. And those offers, when they come in and how you present them to your seller, needs to be in a way that's digestible for them. And it very simple. I extract the most important things that's in the offer that the buyer has presented. And that would be, who the agent is, who the buyer is, what kind of financing they have, how many days are they going to close, what they're asking for. They want a home warranty, they want closing costs, all of those things. I put it in a concise spreadsheet and I present that to the seller. Now, obviously by law, you have to send them the actual offer. But I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm going to send you these offers. You can look through them, because sometimes those offers include letters from the buyers like, hey, I love your home. Here's a picture of me and my family in front of the home. And, it'll be a detailed biography of the buyer. And the sellers love to read those, because this is the home that they've lived in for such a long time. They want to be able to hand over some buyers, some new neighbors to the neighborhood that, like my listing on 75th Street, that home, they wanted to make sure, the most important thing to the seller was to make sure that since their grandma passed away and they're selling the house and they love the neighbors and they love the neighborhood, they want to make sure that the person who is buying that home is going to love the neighborhood and the neighbors. So it was a very, long process for us to pick and choose, but we did it. Out of 17 offers we got, we narrowed it down to 3. And from those 3, normally we would have counteroffered all 3. But because of what's going on and the urgency in the market, they decided to pick 1. Okay. And we went with that one. We opened escrow, and we're moving and shaking on that. All right. So that's a snapshot of how I do the offers and the negotiations. Usually I'll take the top 3 offers and I'll counter them back. Okay. And it's not just about who the buyer is or what the price is, but it's also about how that buyer's agent relates to their buyer. You know, if they've just met their buyer on Zillow yesterday and they're writing an offer, I'm a little nervous because they have no relationship with that buyer, and they may not be able to advise them when it comes to credits and repairs and things like that. That buyer may not listen to them because they don't know each other. So I need to accept the offer from the agent, the buyer's agent, who has the best relationship with that buyer. And this is why it's so important for all of us right now to be building strong relationships with other agents, because it's in this process that I'm looking to work with somebody I've worked with before that I know can close, because I only want to do this one time. With me and my seller, we're going to pick the offer that's going to close. That's the whole point. Obviously, let's go back to our list here. Obviously, on number 3, can everybody see my screen? I don't know. Yeah, I think you can see the screen. Number 3 is contract to close. Actually, after you accept this offer, getting it from contract to close, opening escrow, sending the proper emails with the fully executed purchase contract to escrow and title and the lender. That's a whole process that your transaction coordinator can help you with. And that's something that you want to talk to your sellers about from the beginning. Hey, I'm going to have Miriam or Myra or whoever your transaction coordinator is. I'm going to have them reach out to you, and they're going to be the ones that are going to do the paperwork and make sure everything gets signed in conjunction with escrow and title. These are going to be our allies. Set that all up in the beginning so they understand exactly who's going to be involved and who's going to be emailing them. Okay, so that contract to close is really important. All right, let's see what else we got. We only have a few more minutes. Let me see what else is in here. Does anybody have any questions so far on any of that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
I just had 2 cents to add as far as working with a mentor or team member. One of my team members, she sets me up with Uber conference. So she sets the appointment up and adds it to the calendar, and I just confirm that I can meet at that time with her referral or her client. It's a way that she records the call. So then she goes back and listens to the call to learn so that she can start doing her own consultations. Because it's a 1, 2, 3 that I usually do, and it's tailored depending on the conversation. But it's the 3 main points that I hit in every call. So she can hear me do that, and then she can learn to do it as she listens to the recording.
Okay, share with us, what are your 3 main points?
So I find out what their investment goal is. Find out if it's a buyer, I find out if they talk to a loan officer or not. If it's a seller, I ask them, have they started to prepare the house for sale yet? And then for a seller, I set the appointment to go into the house. So I answer questions they have and set the appointment to go to the house. If it's a buyer, I ask them what their buying criteria is, like what part of the city they want to move. Is it a single family, a duplex, like what is their objective? And then I set them up on a drip so they can be getting properties as they're talking to the loan officer to keep them motivated.
Oh, wow. That is a great point. I love that. Okay. So you're engaging with them from the beginning. You've taken this big complicated thing and you put it into these punch things. And that is exactly where you need to be with everything. Because think about it on the other side. Think about how complicated it is on our side, how complicated it must be for somebody who doesn't know how to do this and who doesn't know anything about the real estate market. Your clients and your prospects, your leads, all of these people are coming to you to break this process down into bite-sized pieces. And I love that you have this punch list. And that's exactly how I teach my mentees and my team how to break this into, compartmentalize it and make sure that you're setting the expectation from the beginning on how it's going to go. You always want to be in a position, it sounds like the questions that you're asking are thought-provoking, and it's getting them to talk and tell you everything. And during that process, just make sure you're laser focused and that you're not thinking about what you're going to say next. You know, you have your punch notes next to you, but really when they're talking, be listening. That's the most important thing. I love that you have that, Lanisha. What is it called? Uber, what did you say?
Uber conference is what
Uber.
she said.
Okay.
It's already recording. When I pick up and the person says hello, I can find out what their name is and then start talking to them. I say, you know, I'm so glad Jackie introduced you. You know, I'm so glad you're interested in investing in real estate. So tell me more about your investment goals. And then they just start talking.
Ah, I love that. So tell me more about your investment goals. Tell me more about why you're thinking about moving. Right. There are a million ways you can cut that so it sounds conversational and it doesn't sound like you're reading from a script. I love that. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, guys, it is 3:03 and I'm so sorry, we're 3 minutes over. Are there any questions that anybody has or anything to add? I'm sorry we didn't get to finish everything. I'm trying to think. We didn't talk about the condition of the house or anything like that. I mean, that's stuff we can dive into a little bit later. But I think the most important thing, if I can give you something to walk away with, is that that video from Gene Rivers. I mean, really dive into that and make sure that you understand where he's coming from. Oh, here it is. That video right there. If you want it, like grab it from the screen, you can. But that video is bomb. Okay, it's exactly what you need to do in order to be a listing agent. And I thank you guys so much for being on the call with me for 2 hours. My goodness. Now, if you have any questions, guys, please reach out to me. If you need my phone number, it's 323-559-9081. Real easy to find. And let me know if you want to run something by me. I'm more than happy to help you. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome. Have a good one, guys.
You too.